Part 1. The Humble Father and Daughter. In a small, peaceful village nestled in the hills, where the air was always fresh and the earth rich with crops, there lived a humble man named Kofi and his daughter, Amara. This village, though not rich in gold or treasures, was rich in history, community, and wisdom. The villagers didn't measure wealth by what they owned, but by the strength of their hearts and the kindness they shared. Kofi wasn't a man of great material wealth. His house was simple, made of clay and wood, with a thatched roof that provided shelter from the sun and rain. He didn't have many belongings, but what he had was cherished. A small garden behind the house grew vibrant vegetables and fragrant flowers, and a few chickens roamed freely around the property. The simplicity of their life was a reflection of the deep peace that enveloped their home. Kofi was a craftsman, skilled in carving wood. He made beautiful sculptures of animals, birds, and trees, all of which seemed to tell a story. He spent his days carving in his small workshop at the side of their home, and although his work was simple, it was admired by all who saw it. People from neighbouring villages came to seek his wisdom, and often they stayed for tea, sharing stories and seeking his advice. Kofi's reputation as a wise, gentle, and loving man had spread far beyond the borders of his village. Amara, his only child, was his pride and joy. From the moment she was born, Kofi knew she was destined for something special. Amara had a curious mind, and from a young age she asked endless questions. Why did the birds sing in the morning? Why did the leaves fall from the trees in autumn? Why did the river flow so quietly at night? Kofi would smile at her questions and patiently answer, even when he didn't have the exact words. Instead, he would take her by the hand and show her the world around them, letting nature's beauty answer many of her inquiries. Amara was also deeply attached to her father, and they shared a bond unlike anything the village had ever seen. While the other children played in the fields, Amara would often sit by her father's side, watching him work, listening to the rhythmic sound of his carving tools. There was something deeply comforting about the way Kofi worked. His hands, weathered and strong, moved with care and precision, as though he was putting pieces of his soul into each sculpture. One evening, as the sun began to set and the sky turned a soft shade of orange, Kofi and Amara sat on their porch, watching the stars begin to appear. The village was quiet, save for the gentle rustling of the leaves in the evening breeze. It was one of those peaceful moments when the world seemed to slow down and everything felt right. Amara, as she often did, sat next to her father, gazing at the stars. She was a young girl then, no older than 11, but already she carried herself with a quiet wisdom, much like her father. "Father," she asked, breaking the silence, "why do the stars shine so brightly, even when we can't always see them during the day?" Kofi turned to look at her, his weathered face softening with a smile. He had heard this question before, but it never failed to warm his heart. "The stars," he began, "shine because they are meant to guide us, even when the world around us is full of noise. During the day we often get caught up in our busy lives, and the stars fade from our view, but they are always there, waiting for us to remember them in the quiet of the night. Just like our hearts, Amara, sometimes we need silence to hear them." Amara listened intently, but her mind was full of curiosity. "But, Father, why do we need to remember them? Why can't we see them all the time?" Kofi chuckled softly, brushing a stray lock of hair away from her face. "You see, Amara, the stars don't shine for themselves. They shine for us. And in the same way, we must learn to shine for others, even if they don't always see our light. Sometimes our light isn't needed until someone else is searching for it in their darkest hour." Amara thought about this for a long time. She didn't fully understand, but she felt the truth of his words in her heart. She could sense that her father wasn't just teaching her about the stars. He was teaching her about life itself. As the evening wore on, Amara and Kofi continued to sit in companionable silence, watching the sky darken and the stars grow brighter. The air was cool now, and the night was coming alive with the sounds of crickets and the occasional hoot of an owl in the distance. The village was quiet, and Kofi's voice broke through the stillness again. "Amara, I want you to understand something important," Kofi said, his voice more serious now. "We don't need riches to be rich in life. What makes us wealthy is what we give to others, how we love, and how we care. You may never have the most expensive things, but if you have a heart full of kindness, you will have more than enough." Amara looked up at him with wide eyes, her heart swelling with emotion. She knew, even at her young age, that these words were more valuable than any treasure in the world. Her father's wisdom, though simple, was profound. He had taught her that it was not the possessions one held, but the love and wisdom one shared that made a life truly rich. Kofi stood up, stretching his back, and walked towards the small garden at the side of their house. He tended to it every evening, carefully watering the plants and checking on the flowers. Amara followed him, knowing that her father's evening ritual was as much a part of his life as his work. "Come, Amara," Kofi called. "Help me water the garden. The plants are like our dreams. They need care and attention to grow." Amara grabbed the small watering can and followed her father to the garden, where the evening dew glistened on the leaves. They worked together in silence, side by side, each lost in their thoughts, but united in their actions. As they worked, Amara couldn't help but feel the weight of her father's wisdom sinking into her heart. His words about love, patience, and kindness echoed in her mind, and she knew they would stay with her for the rest of her life. This was her foundation, these simple truths, spoken by a man who had so little, yet gave so much.